What's up guys, today we'll be going over the Ruinous Effigy and we'll be breaking down everything you need to know about this weapon. If you need to know how to get this weapon, I already made a guide for the quest and also the catalyst, so I'll link that in the description and in the comments. But in today's video, we will be breaking down the damage of this weapon and pretty much all the mechanics you need to know about it. So first, looking at the exotic perk on this weapon, transmutation. Final blows with this weapon collapse victims into void transmutation spheres. In the other perk, evolution, transmutation spheres you create can be picked up and wielded as weapons by you or your allies. For PC, mouse 1 for light attack, mouse 2 for heavy attack, then also wherever your block button is on swords to guard or drain nearby combatants. Then finally, the catalyst, this weapon deals increased damage against targets damaged by transmutation spheres. So how does this weapon work? Well, it's pretty straightforward. You get kills with the choice rifle part of the weapon. It will drop a relic that you can pick up. You can do light attacks, you can do heavy attacks that consume all of the energy remaining, and also you can block with them, pretty similar to Middle Tree Sentinel. So there's gonna be 3 different things you can do with the relic, and we'll be breaking down all 3 of them, exactly what they do and all that good stuff. One thing that is interesting about this weapon is that anyone can pick up the relics, so it's not only the person that creates it that can pick it up. Even if my ally creates one, I can then pick it up, which is like create a Warmind Cell like dynamic where people are gonna try to yoink them and steal them. But the good thing with these is that you can spawn them in very easily. Pretty much every single time you get a kill, there is a minor delay between when you can actually get them to spawn in. It's roughly 5 or 6 seconds, so every 5 seconds you can spawn one in. And no matter what you're doing with the relic, light attack, heavy attack, or guarding, it's gonna work a lot like the relics in 17 Song and stuff like that, where when you damage an enemy, it's gonna suppress them for quite a long time on every light attack. Then also heavy attacks will do the same effect. Then if you're blocking, as long as you're doing damage to the enemy, they'll be suppressed the entire time. The second you stop blocking, it will go away though. So that is pretty cool. If you don't know what suppressing an enemy does, pretty much what's going to do is going to be exactly like Tractor Cannon, where it's going to make it so they can't use their abilities or even attack you. As you see, if I do it on Greg, he just kind of walks around and can't really see, can't really attack or do anything. So that's a really cool feature of this relic. So now breaking down all the different attacks of the relic. First, with light attacks, it's going to hit 8172 on Greg. So if we pick up a relic, we can do 29 of these light attacks. And looking at how long that takes to find the DPS of this option, it's going to take quite a while. As I said, 29 light attacks. That's going to take roughly 13.837 seconds, meaning that the total damage output of a relic if you do light attacks will be 236,000 damage, which is a lot. And the DPS is going to be 17.1 thousand, which isn't that high, but it's not too bad either. It's kind of in between a special and a primary weapon. But there's going to be one thing that you can do with light attacks that is very interesting. If you spam jump and light attack back and forth, so jump, light attack over and over again, if you do it perfectly, you can spam light attacks very, very quickly. As you saw in that 4.24 seconds, I did 12 light attacks, which will take the DPS of that combo to 24.1 thousand, which still isn't anything, crazy. It's just gonna be a little bit better DPS, and if you can pull it off, it's pretty cool. So now moving on to the second option you can do with Relic, which is gonna be a heavy attack. It's gonna hit 40,000 on Greg and consume the rest of the energy of the Relic. And it doesn't matter how much energy you have, whenever you do it, it's gonna hit 40,000. So pretty much the best way of doing it is just to do light attacks or block up until the point you get 1 ammo. Then use the heavy attack to get that 40,000 burst damage instantly, and that's gonna work really well for single target damage and also ad clear, and it's something you should be doing right before you run out of ammo no matter what. Then the final option on Greg is gonna be blocking, and this is going to take for 32,069 on Greg, and it's going to take for 30 times by the time we run out of ammo, which means if we do that for the entire duration of the relic, we'll be doing just under 100,000 total damage. Then the DPS will be 10.5 thousand, so neither of those are great and are actually lower than the light attacks. But as you saw, when we got to 1 ammo, it didn't actually run out. Once you get to 1 ammo left, you can still block and still do damage to nearby enemies, but now it will also do damage to you, and over time it'll do more and more damage, so eventually you will die. So what happens if we try to do this in Well Radiance and outlive it? Once again, eventually the tick rate of the damage versus you will be so high that it will eventually kill you even through the healing of Well Radiance. I also try to do this with Devour by getting kills while blocking and getting health back as it's doing damage to me. And once again, if you're not getting enough kills quick enough and there's downtime between the kills, it will eventually kill you also. That is a cool feature that you can do damage forever while blocking, but eventually the self damage will be so high that you can't even live through it. But overall, the ad clear blocking is really good, and it's a lot like Middle Tree Sentinel. And the only difference is it doesn't block damage, or does it? I think it does. So looking at it in PvP, so we can test it very scientifically, we hit 26 with these 2 ARs. Then if he picks up one of the relics and blocks with it, it now goes to 8 damage with both of the ARs. So yeah, this thing blocks damage also, and it's gonna be roughly 3.25x less damage when you're blocking. But the thing is, I found, which is kind of good, it only blocks damage for the person actually holding the relic. As you see, if he's holding a relic, it does the less damage to him, but the guy inside the bubble next to him, it still does full damage. So it's only the person wielding it, but this still allows you to survive sniper shots, not only 1 but 2. Then it also lets you survive a full shotgun pump at close range. So this is definitely a cool feature. It'll make it viable in PvP kind of, and also blocking damage in PvE is very strong. So overall, looking at the 3 different options on the relic, first you have light attacks, which are going to be very efficient for your total damage of the relic, and will be a pretty decent option for Ackler when things are spread out, and will be pretty much the best DPS option for the relic version of this weapon. Then we also have the heavy attack, which will be really good burst damage at the end of your relic. So no matter what you're doing, Ackler or single target damage, right when you see it get to 1 ammo, you should always be doing a heavy attack. Then finally, the last thing will be the guard drain function, which is going to be really good for group Ackler. Extremely strong, pretty much as strong as Middle Tree Sentinel Titan. Then also it blocks incoming damage for the user, which is very cool also, and will help keep you alive while blocking for group Ackler and even burst majors and ultras and things like that. So overall, the relic part of this weapon is very versatile and very cool. So now that we've broken down all the relic parts of this weapon, well, what about the actual trace rifle part of the weapon, which is where the callus comes into play? This weapon deals increased damage against targets damaged by transmutation spheres. So what that means is normally on Greg, if we just shoot him with a trace rifle part of the weapon, hits 1095 per shot. But now we go ahead and get a relic to spawn in and do damage to Greg with the relic by either doing a light attack, heavy attack, or blocking. As you see, the damage with the base part of the weapon will go up to 1423, which is going to be a 30% increase to the base damage of this weapon. And the 30% increase is only for the beam of the trace rifle and not actually the relic. As you see, if I hit Greg over and over again with light attacks, it never goes above 8172, so it only increases the damage of the beam. And now testing the rate of fire of this weapon, shooting off 1 entire magazine, which is 94 ammo at 6.176 seconds, which means the DPS is going to be 16.6 thousand without the buff, and then with the buff 21.6 thousand DPS, which still isn't that great. This is a special weapon, so 21,000 DPS definitely isn't that great, when most of the other specials in the game over 1 magazine do 30,000 DPS. But the idea behind this callus is you pick up a relic, do light attacks, block whatever it is, do a heavy attack right before you run out, then any enemy that you hit with your relic will take that 30% more damage as long as they're still suppressed, which is going to help you get another relic and rinse and repeat. Now looking at this in PvP, it's going to hit for 17 to the head and 13 to the body, which is going to result in a pretty quick time to kill on the base part of this weapon. Then once you pick up a relic, light attacks hit 150, which means you need 2 to kill an enemy. Then with the heavy attack, it's going to hit 300, which means it's going to be a very easy one-hit kill. And the damage drop-off of it is pretty wide, so you don't have to be exactly on top of the enemies to be able to one-hit them. As you see, it's not enough damage to one-hit a super though. You could do a light attack and do a heavy attack, and that combo would kill. And finally, the blocking part of this in PvP isn't that strong, only hitting 11 damage per tick. But it will block incoming damage, so if you need to stay alive, it's going to be a good option. If you see someone barely ape you with a shotgun, just block real quick, or barely snipe you, you can block and tank it. So overall, you could make this thing work in PvP. I'd be interested to see some PvP gameplay with it, to see like how people can make it work. I think on Top Tree Dawnblade with skating, you could probably pull it off, but once again, you're going to get maybe 1 or 2 kills with the heavy attack. I don't really see you getting a kill with the blocking ever. It might keep you alive here and there, but not really. Then the light attacks, yeah, you could spam it twice, but at the same time, if someone has a shotgun, you're probably going to die before you get the second one off. So yeah, you could use this thing in PvP, but it'll definitely be interesting. But overall in PvE, I really love this weapon. I love exotics that aren't just about DPS or something like that, and they're actually unique and have mechanics behind them. Ones that have more utility and more versatile weapons, for example, tractor cannon and things like that. And this exotic is no different. You have 3 very versatile options with the relic once you pick it up. The blocking is extremely strong for Ackler, then also keeping you alive. The light attacks are really good for total damage output, and also just killing things are maybe a little bit more spread out. And you have the heavy attack, which is going to be really good for just a chunk of burst damage to majors and ultras. So overall, you just have a lot of options with this weapon. Overall, it's definitely not a DPS weapon at all. Even the base damage of the weapon using the beam rifle is not that good either. So it's definitely more of an Ackler type weapon. And honestly, that's okay because of the fact that you pretty much have infinite ammo with this weapon. You use like what, 5 to 10 ammo to kill Red Bar and get the relic. Then with the relic, it does not consume your base ammo, so pretty much you have infinite ammo. Anyways, that's gonna be all for the video. I just want to go over all the different mechanics and pretty much teach you guys everything you need to know about this weapon and how to use it. In the coming days, I'll be making a few cool builds with this weapon and might also be doing it versus strike bosses. So let me know what you guys would like to see me try. Anyways, thanks for watching. Catch you guys next time.